So we've talked about ORCID for individual researchers. Now we're going to shift and talk about ORCID for organizations. There are three key groups when we think about the benefit of ORCID for research organizations. So first is the researcher with an ORCID ID and record full of their scholarly activities. Second is the ORCID registry. This is ORCID's infrastructure that holds the ORCID IDs and records. Currently, we hold just over 8.3 million of these records. So in the middle column, ORCID holds 8.3 million of these records from scholars around the world and in every discipline. And on the right, the third column is your organization, and whichever platform you use to organize this information about your researchers' activities, such as funding awards, publications, etc. These systems are sometimes called CRIS systems. They're also known as ERA systems. Okay, next slide, please. So ORCID has built an infrastructure where the data about these 8.3 million researchers can be shared with other organizational systems. When an organization gets membership with ORCID, the organization can pull data from ORCID to populate their system. So this can be done on demand or set up to enable auto update, giving administration access to real-time accurate data. You'll notice that the arrows go both ways in this diagram. With membership, organizations like yours can write to the researcher's records. This helps the researcher to maintain accurate data in their ORCID record, which is used to populate forms such as funding applications and manuscript submissions with publishers. Next slide, please. So here's a list of some of the vendors that ORCID has worked with to enable the transfer of data between the ORCID registry and organizations like yours. One important note is that we work with many members and their custom platforms to integrate data transfers into unique local homegrown systems as well. So stepping back and looking at ORCID's role in the research ecosystem, we see the researcher at the center of it all, with interdependent relationships with funding agencies, publishers, and their employer. ORCID provides a unique identifier for the researcher so they can be clearly identified and given credit for their research activities. And again, you'll notice the two-way arrows representing data flowing between ORCID registry and other stakeholder systems such as funding agencies and publishers. Automating the data to flow freely from the source of the data to stakeholders allows for accurate data to populate our systems and minimize burden on researchers or research administrators. The ORCID registry is a hub that enables research data to flow efficiently. So in reality, this is what it looks like. So as of April 1st, over 53 million works have been written to 8.3 million researcher ORCID records in our registry. 47 million of those works have a DOI or a digital object identifier. 37 million of these works were written from member organizations using the ORCID API. So here's a list of some of our members who are writing data to ORCID records: publishers like Elsevier, government organizations like NASA, and universities like NYU.